We are now discussing Claressa Shields. We're talking about Papoose today, and I have a message for any content producers covering Claressa Shields. We had the opportunity to converse, so don't worry, we'll cover everything. First and foremost, we are discussing women's fight news. They posted a quote from Claressa Shields' press conference yesterday, that is, yesterday as in Friday, and stated that she had worked hard throughout her career, that there were no gimmicks or shortcuts, and that this kind of fight deserves that kind of platform, and live on days with millions of viewers, tens of thousands of people, and lots of punches. February 22, yes. But I haven't seen a post on Franchon Cruz yet, since if it's meant to be about news about women's fights, aren't you going to highlight both women? Will you not highlight the statements made by Franchon Cruz? In terms of how we pick and choose, I'm simply a little perplexed. Do you understand what I mean? However, we'll see if they strike a posture for her as well. Yes, that's the first bit then. We then had a conversation about Papoose. We then had a conversation about Papoose. It's giving. Do you understand what I mean? I don't give a damn about what others think online from the first draw stage, and there were a lot of comments made online about him and Remy Ma, particularly when they were on Love and Hip Hop, right? Thus, this seems like light work to me. Do you understand what I mean? This pales in comparison to the Love and Hip Hop franchise's fan following. This isn't comparable to anything, is it? However, it's obvious to me that Papoose is attempting to control the narrative, act like a manager, and act like a public relations specialist. Because what happened? You guys tell me what Papoose did. Do you get what I mean when I say Papoose over on the Instagrammies? Aims to highlight content producers who are, I suppose, communicating in a constructive manner. So he had, reposted the quote that he did, soundbite he did, from when he was talking about who he wants to give his flowers to, and he mentioned his family, and then he also mentioned Claressa Shields, and talked about, how she has accomplished a lot of things that no other boxer had accomplished, and that, and then they asked, what was Claressa teaching you as a partner? And so he said that he learned not to be so overprotective of her, and to let Claressa Shields do her thing, and just support, in the decision-making, even if it doesn't align, and that Claressa had got this. It's interesting to me that even though you are supposedly taking a step back, you are actually taking a step forward in all of these interviews, press conferences, videos, and weigh-ins, basically saying, hey, you're in the same rooms with these boxing executives. You are causing things to happen. You're taking the initiative, and you do realize that this was spontaneous. In his caption, Papoose then states the following. It's never over, he says. You have a new chance to conquer the world every day when you wake up. All platforms continue to record positive messages, from off the cuff to peaceful. I also wish peace to everyone who specializes in clickbait and fake information. I recognize that you're all merely trying to make money. Why? Consider carefully what you put into the cosmos. It appears again. #WieldBars @Papoose. Claressa Shields then says in the comments, thank you for my flowers, baby, and mentioning Papoose. Papoose, here's the thing. Do you get what I'm saying? Because in the end, people haven't truly attacked you in a way that would allow them to drag you to the ground. But once again, I feel entitled to these public figures, athletes, celebrities, and reality stars. For me, it's the audacity. So it's said to be, as quoted, clickbait and fake information if you disagree with what someone is saying, regardless of whether it's true or their viewpoint. Clickbait, what is that? Fake information, what is that? What is untrue, Papoose, about you switching from having to grade Claressa Shields' cuisine to placing a takeaway order? While Claressa Shields says to herself, you're always upstairs down the hall to the left when you're there and not in New York City. Is that clickbait? What is false information about you and Remy Ma being at Daniel's Leather on the same day, at the same time, on the same channel, and them removing your video because the two of you were dressed exactly alike? Where is the falsehood that you attended your daughter's birthday party with a McDonald's theme, together with Remy Ma? Where is the lie? What is the incorrect information about that? What about the lies you guys are trying to push down our throats about the $8 million deal? Claressa Shields first said that it had been deposited. Her account was credited with all $8 million. Then she claimed that you had nothing to do with the transaction and that based on her accomplishments, she had accomplished it on her own. Suddenly, she's accusing you of helping her land the $8 million after you were called out for your freestyle performance at the press conference. At the press conference, she is now saying that that's technically $2 million and that she needs to meet other requirements to receive the entire $8 million, which suggests that the whole amount is not $8 million. Then she received the signing bonus of $3 million, which is still less than $8 million. So who's lying to whom? Who among you is spreading misleading information? Do you get what I mean? And then you alternate back and forth. You're still claiming that Remy Ma is your wife 1 minute. In an instant, she might be your ex-wife. But we don't have any documentation proving the divorce was finalized. We don't have divorce decree receipts. The main objection directed at Claressa Shields is that you and her are trying to impose this entanglement on us without our consent. You used to represent black love and the aspirations of Papoose with Remy Ma, but now you represent entanglements, complicated, sticky situations, and darkening them. It's not the flex you think it is. When a very married man tries to press something on us, we are expected to accept it, sit back, and consider this to be normal behavior. It isn't, you guys. It's not. But suddenly, it's clickbait and misleading information.